Talk a little bit about old age. How motherfuckers still alive at 59, gonna turn 60. You know, a lot of people don't believe in God because they say God ain't the one that's pushing the line, but I don't know, man. I gotta give somebody credit, and it ain't me. Because if I give myself credit, guess what? We wouldn't be here having no podcast tonight.
I mean it's true.
Maybe that could be true.
You gotta give some.
Scoot up.
Sure thing, bro. Yeah. I
give some.
I got you. All right. Let me just see how I got. I know how to do it.
Yeah.
I got you here. Let me put this up. All right, check 1 2 microphone check.
Check 1 2.
What we gonna do it right? Let me see. We ain't got the backdrop. Don't we got to keep it not do too much because it's been so long since I've done this. I don't want to run out of shit to say. You're like, oh,
that ain't it.
Motherfucker.
That ain't ever gonna happen. That ain't ever gonna happen, homie.
The liquid death is good a little bit warm, man. I used to drink that Old English warm. I could never drink too because my teeth would be fucked up. What is it? It's what? It's covered liquid. Yeah, it's good water.
Yeah,
shit, ain't no wrong with that shit.
And everybody's like, "Oh, you're drinking beer, don't bring no
It looks like a. It looks like a beer thing, huh?
I mean,
yeah, somebody.
But it's water.
No, yeah, we ain't doing
it. And it's like scary water.
Right,
it's like, man.
Scary, yeah.
Oh, we drink hard water around here.
Yeah, this shit with the
liquid death, man.
Anything that got only Old English writing on it, they're gonna already have a negative attitude about it. No, it's not gang water. We just got in a fucking can.
Hey, this is raised in the street,
shit.
Bubbly water from the mountain.
Yeah, somebody, I don't know where it comes from, but they want an arm and a leg. Somebody's making money off the can.
Yeah.
Right. The water tastes good though. It's smooth. It's like silky.
Silky.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a little sooky now. Little sooky now water. Give me that sucker. Hey, man. So,
let me put these on.
Yeah, let's.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Yeah,
man. We doing.
Why don't you give us a little while we got a little bit of time? Why don't you give us the rundown on the Doublemint twins?
The Doublemint twins. Those brothers. Well, the last I heard, we talking about the Schmitty and how was it?
Bizarro.
Bizarro, man. You
yeah,
ain't heard that.
His teeth was weird. He looked like his brother, but his teeth looked like the front of a boat.
They haven't heard that one in a minute. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
They got Bizarro. Come on, man, because if I don't see no flash, I don't know if you get in the picture, and we ain't gonna last long. Here we go.
Yeah, ice cream, Michelangelo.
Ice cream. He was telling me about. I'm like, how the fuck that shit don't melt, man? He's like, man, we got like, we in the, we in a different time era. Like, we got a thing we put as like, in other words, he's rolling around in a advanced ice cream truck.
Dude, not only that, but when
like some advanced bullshit.
And then when you talk to him like about the ice cream, like you think it's going to be like a 30-second convo, but then it turns into like a 4-hour like slog, and he's going to tell you about the ice cream. Yeah, how he locked his keys in the car.
Yeah, no. He's letting you know about this.
Low jack.
At the end of the day, we're hearing a whole story about ice cream, and then he hits you in the cut. He guts you real quick. Goes, but I'm a diabetic. And I'm like, well, you can't be fucking like. It's just like,
he's the only diabetic ice cream man I've ever met.
Right, that's cool.
No, they got sugar-free ice cream, dude.
Yeah, that
they
shit
got
don't
diabetic.
taste right. You have to have the real deal.
You got to have what you got to have, man, you know.
Yeah, with the Bizarro twins, man, you got one living in one spot. They still trapping. They still doing a sober living trap game. You know, nothing will change. Nothing changes, man. It's like
I heard Bizarro still.
Schmitty tried to run me over, man. You guys don't know that story. Yeah,
what?
Last time I got high with Schmitty, man, I took him down over there. There's a neighborhood in Orange County called La Jolla, and that's the neighborhood nobody wants to go in because it's like they're from Orange County, but they're actually a barrio in Orange County that none of the Orange County neighborhoods get along with.
Okay.
So I'm down in there. You know, when I get loaded, I like to go where nobody goes. You know, where no man has gone before. That's beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah.
Star Trek
beam me
shit.
up, Schmitty.
Like, yeah, I'm going. So I got Schmitty down. He doesn't know where the fuck he's at. I'm like, bro, you can't act up over here. These fucking Mexicans will steal your car. You know, like this car you just got that you're blaming me everything. You fucking hit something. It's all Lepke's fault. You know?
Yeah, right, of course.
But what a trip, man. Yeah, so
why did he try to run you over?
So anyway, I was trying to get something. I had like some Old English, a beer, like my Old English that had probably warmed up and it's just ready to drink.
Yeah.
And then I was like, he wanted some dope, and it was like I had some speed, but he was abusing his free speed privilege, like he was just abusing him. Man.
How did his free speech privilege work? How was it? It was free speech so long as
I'm
he
gonna tell you
didn't
what
try to run you over?
Hey, no, listen to this. I learned something from Schmitty. Schmitty is a smart dude when it comes to the Pookie. And, so what he would do, he's put so little in it, but he would do something with a rag and some like ice, with an ice cube and some water and the rag. And what he would do is he'd hit this little amount of dope and then he'd put it on this like ice cold rag and move it. And it looked like more dope would come because he would never run out off this little amount I'd give him. My fucking pipe would be shot. And I'd be putting like piles of dope in there. And he'd still be with this one little rock blowing fucking clouds. And I'm like,
making it last.
So I had to
They
learn
call him that. They call him the David Copperfield of speed. He's like a magician.
Yeah.
He could make more speed come out of like the same rock.
That was crazy.
But like, Schmitty, I saw you smoking for 3 hours. This rock didn't get any smaller.
You find out about people when you get high with them. You find out, really where they're really at. Like you're not such a nice guy. Like that type of shit.
Well, I mean,
Or how creative you are.
Yeah.
But like how like edgy would he
like,
get?
I'm not even gonna lie. He had like a lot of money. He had that financial aid money, and they kicked us out of that sober living. So he had to like get that shit out of the safe that he installed under his bed. Like, what are you gonna do with the safe now? We're both kicked out of here. Like, I'm the manager and I'm out. Like, what are you gonna do with it? So I found he went and got all that money. Like, he was just harvesting this money. Like I'm gonna sit on all this financial aid money. It was like a few $1,000s there. He put it in the back seat and I could look in the bag and just grab a few hundreds out and stick them. I didn't want to take too much,
No, but I mean,
I wasn't bumping him hard. I was just making sure I had a few hundred in my pocket.
Right, everybody's got to live a little bit. You know what I mean? Like
every time he get me mad, it'd be a few more hundred in my pocket. I left out of there with like fucking $1,200-$1,300. He's like, hey, it looked like my money's a little bit short there, Lepke. You know what I mean?
Hey, what are you trying to say?
Yeah.
God, how could you accuse me?
Where'd you get that money for them donuts? Right?
Yeah, you're not even into easy come, easy go, Schmitty.
Bullshit, man.
But I mean, did Schmitty ever get up to any crazy hijinks? Did he do a caper or anything?
I took him on a few scandalous things, man. But we really didn't know. Like, I didn't really want to bring him on the one there because I know that if we would have got caught, he would have been singing. Like,
He's not gonna. He's gonna fold.
Yeah, I didn't want to bring him on any big shit. I did on some misdemeanor street shit. But then when I'd want to do the big shit, we'd get him loaded and put him in a corner and we'd sneak the car out. You know what I'm saying? And after we do the job and have all the money, he'd be realizing, well, where are my keys? Like, oh, here you go. Fucking car hotter than a firecracker.
He get pulled over on suspicion. He's like, man, what are you talking about? I was asleep. I didn't drive anywhere.
It's pretty crazy.
That is funny. That's a funny show.
Yeah. We over here on the Hard Luck Show, man. It's been a while, man. But
reunion. Right?
It's like a little reunion,
the
man.
The band's getting back together.
Right. We let them know. Yeah, we up here, man. I appreciate
everybody. You
look
good.
Thank you. I appreciate everybody on the Instagram giving me the positive input and
everybody.
to come up here and just to we're all family up here, just so you know. It's not like nobody separates. Just want to let the listener know we don't separate and it ain't one guy. You might look at one guy different. You might look, but at the end of the day, man, when we get here, we drive together, we talk, we're still friends. We just want to let the people know, the listener needs to know that it's too much of that drama going around in the world. That's why everybody's at each other's throat, because nobody has the sense of enough, to encourage people, man. We need to start encouraging each other more better in the community, man. There's a lot of shit happening right now. The world to me is like people are dying, people are getting strung out on these drugs, and fentanyl, as last I researched that drug, it's like people are like, that's a fucking
it's a killer.
It has to, that's that drug. They if you really do the research on fentanyl, it's a drug where it has to be, what's that word? Like when it's a monitored drug. You have to, when you do fentanyl and they give it to you in the hospital, it's monitored.
Yeah,
you have to be with somebody that, you can't just go. I was telling homeboy outside,
you can't self-administer.
Right, I'd be in the hotel room and I'd be smart enough to know while I was in there alone that nobody knows where I'm at. I'm in this fucking hotel room and only I know I'm there. But I got all this speed and fentanyl, all this dope. I'd be afraid to take a hit off that tinfoil, because knowing the fact that I might fuck around and nod out and not come back out of that nod.
Yeah, but how do you have a good time in that situation?
You don't do it. I wasn't doing it, and I was so burned out that I had to lay down. So to have the motel was more important than if you get to a stage where that you run so hard in the streets that what ends up happening is that little bit of rest you're gonna get, you gotta sacrifice one thing for the other. It's either gonna be I'm gonna rest and take a shower and groom up and just lay there and see what's going on in the world, put the news channel on, not no porno or bullshit. I would be like, I wouldn't even, I got to the point to where I would like watch the news, right? And then I wouldn't even want to hear the TV because I'd be on so much meth, I need to hear what was going on around me. And that would usually fucking trip me out anyway.
Yeah.
So it was like, yeah, this last run, it was like, that's where I was at. And I'm talking about, this was last year. I don't want anybody to think, oh, the last run, he's talking about last week. No, I'm not talking about last week.
No, you stacked up some time.
Right, I got a little bit, but it's not, that's important. I have a sobriety date of today. I only ride on that, but it's like, I'm in a good place. I wouldn't come to the Hard Luck Show for you listeners. I wouldn't come up here today if I was in a bad place or if I was struggling like I have done before. I want you guys to know that I am in a good place. And that's the reason why I'm up here. I want you to know I'm doing, like, whoever's out there, whether be like, oh, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. No, man, I'm already to a point in my life where I need to, like, encourage individuals and help people. Like, I've always had that in my heart. My mother taught me that when I was young. It's not no big deal that we help each other and we try to, like, be an example. There's a lot of young kids growing up. I don't want to see this new generation coming up be like chasing fentanyl and chasing ecstasy and Molly and all this shit. It's like,
hey, so there's people commenting on the live saying you look super healthy.
Cool, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
man.
and then Eleno Love says, nice, good timing. This is my first time tuning in live. Man. All love. You all have helped me in a lot of ways from the pandemic to now.
Cool. Yeah,
everyone
still around.
He's even saying you, Blue Eyes.
Yeah.
This guy's even
Sean Lewis, man. Shout out to our engineer.
Yeah.
Our good buddy right there. We're kind of worried. We thought he was going to go on a... We'll explain that some other time.
Hey, yeah.
We were just doing some research on the way over here why people go and shoot up mass murders, going to like McDonald's and eat burgers and shoot the place up, right?
Yeah, dude.
We got some good shows coming up, man.
Filet-O-Fish and then
we got like I've already came to the table with Schumacher while we were driving over here. But there's some good shit we need to put out. Right.
We rode together, mano y mano, right? Mm-hmm. No fucking, no bullshit. Mm-hmm. All the way from Orange County on the 405.
Yeah.
Right, we talked about everything under the sun.
Yeah, we had some good music.
Listening to like Midnight Star.
Yeah, that was a good.
Midas
cool.
Touch.
Because we want the podcast like this is a reality podcast. If people don't know who tunes in, we are a reality podcast, and we do things that happened or are going to happen or going to take place in anything.
In a real life, and we got
make sure. We got the homies in the house.
Big Lux is in the house.
West up. West, all right.
I'll be right back.
West in the house.
West side.
Yeah, but man, we were driving up. Right. You like hermanos, man.
Yeah.
You picked up homeboy. He's like, Lepke's like a gentleman, so it's like I pick him up. He's like rolling, and then I gotta stop. I'm gonna get something cold to drink on the way out. I was like, hey, Big Lep, what do you need? He's like, man, I don't need anything, man. I'm like, come on, man, it's on me. Let's go. He's like, no, I took advantage enough of Schmitty. I'm not gonna do that now. I go, listen. He goes, give me some gum. I'll take some gum. So I went in,
gum.
and I got the watermelon flavor 5.
Oh man,
you want some gum?
Yeah. You got some gum?
We were chewing gum all the way up here and talking about fentanyl, the president.
Oh yeah, we're talking about like
politics.
See, when I need to know like what's going on in the media with the politics, I just ask this dude.
I told Big Lep they found cocaine in the White House.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, they found a cocaine in the cubby.
I mean, come on.
This is the best one here.
But obviously,
the watermelon,
it's not
you get you also.
Yeah, that's that.
You got the watermelon. I even got this other shit. Check this shit. Have y'all ever seen this shit? Watch this.
Check this out. I got the good shit right here, man.
Watch this.
Check this out. I'm gonna break you off some of this good shit.
Look
at that. What's that? What? Oh,
that's an espresso shot.
Copico.
Yeah. Shout out to Didi for giving me this. Didi, good looking out.
Yeah.
She's over there in Arizona at the Diamondback game.
Yeah.
My other half.
Copico.
Yeah, these are good.
What do you do with that?
Put in some hot water and you drink it, bro.
Yeah?
Look at this.
Yeah, that looks great.
That fits you. That one looks like it fits you.
You want to take a pause and then come back?
Yeah, let's take a pause. It's just a little.
All right.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Oh, we'll get there.
Let's crack it off, you guys.
Let's go. Ready?
Am I good on camera?
Your brother, basement hard luck. Basement hard luck.
Yes. It will be
hard luck. Pimps and car shots, each murder with hard luck. Your brother, basement hard luck. Basement hard luck. Car shots, each murderers with hard luck. Pimps and car shots, each murderers with hard luck.
Good morning and welcome to the Hard Luck Show. I'm your certified host, Steve Lucky Luciano. And if you like the Hard Luck Show, hit like button, subscribe, and you can always find us here on Mondays on YouTube and on all streaming networks. My man Chumahan
is the elegant barbarian American Indian Southern Californian here with a stunner once again.
Yes. And Blue Eyes.
Oh, that's right. Sean Lewis, certified audio professional engineer for the Hard Luck Show.
Nice.
On the edge. Always leaving us hanging.
Tension.
Let's give him a hand on that.
Yeah.
We got Big Pick Mike handling the images, lighting, all that. So.
Ice cream delivery, photographs, and plumbing.
And DJ equipment. You guys.
Listen.
It's been a long time waiting. I know that you guys have been waiting for this next guy. He's part of the Hard Luck family. He'll always be the Hard Luck family. And he'll always be my boy.
Right.
Spring back, raining from Hollywood, California. Big Lepke to the show!
Mr. Indestructible.
I'm never good with the introductions, but I'm glad to be back, man. It's a pleasure that you guys that I waited, the long awaited. You know, the calling is due, and I'm very happy to be back. And just to let the listener know, man, I know a lot of you guys are reaching out, you know, on the Instagram and asking me, you know, like, when am I going to come back here? And I always let you know, man. I say, you know, in due time, you know, it's going to happen, you know, and,
right.
You know, for those, like, my mother always used to tell me that good things that come to those who wait, you know, and it's like, this will be a good show, you know, we're going to touch on a lot of things, you know, there's a lot of overdoses, you know, a lot of, you know, from what I've seen, from where I stand, I kind of separated myself. Like Esteban Oreo says, well, you know, you're way over there in a bubble. Well, I decided I had to put myself in a certain area so that way I could, you know, get my head together, get my life together, and basically turn everything down, like, you know, turn everything off. You know, I had a relapse, and a mild relapse, you know, I had to get stabilized. I had another congested heart failure.
What happened?
Wait, hold on a second. Before we get all the ways down that path.
Right, we could stay somewhere else.
I want to say something right now.
Go ahead.
I want to say something to you, and I need you to let me just at least say this.
Yeah.
If the last time we had a show, and I might have been a little bit aggressive, and I'm speaking for myself, and I just want to say on our channel right now, I want to tell you, man, if I came off fucked up, if I came off aggressive, if I made you feel some certain kind of way, I apologize to you,
good, man.
Because it was clear that you were going through some struggles, and I just reviewed it, and I look back on it, and I just want to tell you, man, if I had you feeling some sort of kind of a way, man, I want you to know that I apologize, that I love you, man.
I appreciate it.
And I got your back, and I'm just happy to have you back at the show.
Well, like we do in the Walden House, we'd be like, well, apology accepted, you know. There's a behavior modification program where if that didn't come out of you, then there'd be some more to it. They'd have to set you in a whole different type of thing when, you know. Because Lucky and I, we kind of like lived through these institutions, through the jailhouse, through the behavior modification programs, and everything for a reason, you know. Like it's like my boy used to say, not to get religious. A lot of people, you talk religion, like a lot of people, like you throw them off. I went to a function over there with Esteban and them, and I wasn't really like, 'cause I let a lot of people know, you know, I base my program on spirituality. You know, because there is no mistake that I'm sitting here. It's not behind my doing. I was even telling Chumahan a little while ago, it's like, man, like I'm gonna be 60 years old. Got knock on wood, man. And 60 years old is a cold number. It's like when they were telling me like that old story we hear in the hood. There's you guys hear, you youngsters, they're like, oh, your older homeboy tells you, oh, you're not gonna make it till you're 25 years old and all this. And they used to tell me that shit. You ain't gonna make it off the block. You ain't like you go walk up to that street corner and your ass gonna get smoked if you keep it up, you know. But man, I feel honored that I'm gonna turn 60. You know, and I don't really look at the the age thing, you know, it's more like I look at where my body's at, how I feel, what I've been through. And I'm letting you know, man, after 55, 58, 59, as I was putting these drugs in me, you know, what ended up happening with me was they weren't agreeing with me. You know, my breathing was getting, you know, labored. I couldn't breathe right. And it got real serious. It got to the point where I had to go to the hospital because I couldn't breathe, because I woke up on the floor and the doctor telling me, listen, man, do you smoke meth? I'm like, yes, I was smoking meth, but I ain't smoked meth today, or I didn't smoke it
like 5 minutes ago.
Yes,
I was asleep.
Like,
so
Last night I might have touched on a little bit of methamphetamine.
not even
dabbled in
last
some
night.
dry
It's
goods.
like today's Tuesday, and the last time I smoked meth was on Friday. Like I should be like, I've done pissed that amount out of my system. And he's like, no, man, it's like through the use and through the age and the use over and over and over, it's like taking a toll on you. You might have to rethink the situation when we let you out of the hospital after we run a few tests, because we don't know what's going on inside of your body. We don't know why your legs are swelled up like that. I'm talking about, you know, like oh, you know, I'm not talking about a diabetic thing. I'm talking about like water in my legs, like
it looked
like
crazy.
there's water around your heart. And that was like the best thing they could have told me. He was like, well, what we're going to do is we're going to shoot this dye in you. We're going to take some pictures. I've been through all that for the, like, oh, I'm not making a big deal out of it or complain. I'm just letting for the listener just to know this. I've been shot a whole bunch of times.
Right.
So I've been hospitalized.
Right.
I've been stabbed a
That's
whole
like
bunch
your
of
second home almost.
Like, the hospital's like the
You've been
pin-
through every kind of procedure that they
Right,
give
they
them.
gave
Hey,
you
we're
them.
going to shoot dye here. We're going to investigate there.
We're going to try this.
they made him an MD, honorary.
Yeah.
Hey,
right.
check it out. We're going to, hey, how about
Should have been a doctor.
Yeah,
we're
Dr.
gonna
Lep.
we're gonna pull the hemorrhoids out.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, hemorrhoids. You get like, how do they come
Hey,
out?
we're going to put this popsicle in your ass.
First we're gonna put some. First we're gonna rubber band. We're gonna put some rubber bands, and that didn't work. So it's like, what the fuck? And then I found out, oh, I could get Norcos like this. Let me just keep complaining about my booty, and then that ain't a joke.
Yeah, right.
That's not a joke.
That ain't a joke.
Let
man.
me complain about my booty. That's not a
I
joke.
get to the fucking emergency room there. What's wrong? I go, man, I got look at these hemorrhoids. And they're like, oh my god.
But you want to know something, Lepke?
They look like
feel
lug nuts on a car.
Hey, Lep, I feel like once the street dope illicit game
Right,
is
fuck.
over,
Yeah, shit.
once you get to a doctor
Yeah.
and you start getting for that, it's easy to start convincing yourself this is okay. The doctor gave it to me, and then here we are running a whole nother game.
Oh, but I knew it wasn't
right,
okay.
right.
I
You
mean,
know, we knew it wasn't okay,
Right,
but it's
right.
like
But it's
that's a
like-
whole nother angle that you got to run through.
Yeah, it's like how many then like somebody like when somebody close to me, they're like, how many times you gonna go and like don't you feel a degradation from that? How many times you gonna go show your fucking ass to a doctor to get some 30 Norcos?
Right. It's like that ain't no problem.
I mean, like, what do you mean 30? I
I
got
call
90.
that vacation.
What do you mean?
Hey, what's
30?
that? That's a good thing.
Like, yeah, you know.
Hey,
it's
but
like,
let me ask you this. So when the doctor sits down with you, how does it really go? Like so
what I'd like to do is I'd like to just like point out. Well, like if go ahead.
I was just gonna
At
ask
which
you
time?
like this last time. So you're
Oh,
saying
yeah,
like right?
I
Because I
understand.
think some addicts there's a point in time
Right.
where they think it's not good, but they're gonna
it's
it's always gonna be the same. They forget the age and the time part.
Right.
And then at some point it starts to be like, yeah, you just can't do it. Like so when the doctor sat down and talked to you about it, really what did he
It was
say?
different. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Was it different?
It was cold because let me tell you. So I'll just go real fast. I don't want to like then we could move around. But what happened was
I jump around.
Yeah, no. But the doctor, man, he was like real serious. He was like, "Look, man, you're a drug addict. You know, like without me saying anything, just basically looking at me, knowing you've used drugs all your life. You're 59, 58. I was 59, 58, whatever. Old man, and you know you're already to the point to where like you're gonna die. You know, straight up. You know, like if you don't take my advice now. First, we don't know what's going on with you.
Right.
So we're going to have to wait because we have to run some tests. And this is Friday, so we're not going to do that till Monday. I'm like, I got to be up here till Monday? I'm like, fuck it, I might as well get used to this shit.
Right.
So I got to figure everything out, right? You know, so I'm coming off of methadone, 120 milligrams of methadone.
What does that
That's
do?
bad.
What does that do?
That's
What
like,
is 120?
that's like a whole fucking different ball game in itself.
What do you mean?
That's a
It's like-
whole war.
That's like
mountain to
another,
climb.
that's just another train I added. into the fucking, like, all these fucking trains. Like, just keep, I heard a speaker say, I just kept adding trains. I just kept going.
You talked a lot about trains this last, year.
Man, I added this fucking methadone train and tried to get off. And mind you, I hadn't even tried the fentanyl yet. So we'll get to that. But anyway, it's like, fentanyl was the wonder drug. I'm not even going to lie. Don't nobody get no ideas out here. You hear Big Lep telling you about a wonder drug. Don't go out there and try to test it. Don't sit up here and say Lepke said it was good. The fentanyl, if it ain't no good, it's a monitored drug. That means you got to be with somebody that know what the fuck's going on. Half of you motherfuckers don't know shit when it comes to that. I was just telling Chumahan right now, when I'd get in the hotel just to lay my I get in there to lay my head down, I wouldn't even fuck with it. It'd be like, you have to sacrifice something. I'm in a room, I could get high, I could do whatever I want, but do I want to take a shower, relax my head, and watch a little bit of news? Or do I want to smoke the fentanyl, maybe fall asleep and not wake up? Damn. So you have to pick, you gotta, so me personally, that drug that's a check drug, but it was also a wonder drug to me. I'm gonna tell you why. Cause around the time that came out, it took me a year before I righteously got on it. Cause everybody, real dolphins will be like, oh, we don't want to give you any of this because, it's like, you might die. And I'm like,
but that's
greedy
almost
motherfucker.
Yeah, but there was a lot of addicts when they hear that it's an advertisement.
No,
they're
like,
I was
scared.
Let me get that.
No, I had seen too many people falling and dying.
You did?
Yeah, I was because I'm working in recovery, so I'm seeing this. Like, dude will come in, check in, we'll give him the bed, we'll make the bed, everything's cool. He goes to the store a few times. I walk in the room, he's laying there dead, bro. This is the things I saw in the last year. A lot of this.
All right.
But let me talk. You know what, Lepke? I want you to talk about
the doctor.
No, I mean we're covering the doctor too, but because you kind of touched on a little bit, and that is that. As you know, Vincent works in treatment. My son works in treatment.
Shout out to the
shout out to Big Vincent, man, over at
the program. Yeah.
He tells me.
Yeah, I know that.
And this is a couple years ago. He tells me, Dad, all that heroin. Everybody that used to do heroin, like. They're not doing heroin anymore.
Yeah,
they're doing fentanyl. And the thing is that you go to the dealer, and as the heroin becomes more and more scarce, you've got to have it, right?
Or more
you're showing up.
More and more cut.
Right.
They're
but then eventually, you're showing up to the dope man sick.
Yeah.
And you're going to buy some dope, and the dope man's like,
this
ain't no heroin. But what I do have is this.
It'll get you
and
well.
It's cheaper, and it's going to get you well. And that's how that transition's been. A dope fiend sick isn't going to say no to the fentanyl and go, I'm going to go look for black tar.
You're not in a situation to do that.
Right. And then one time takes you. Lepke, how was that for you? Because I remember us talking and you doing some dope.
Yeah.
And you saying, I ain't gonna fuck with, because we have another friend that said the same thing.
Sure.
I ain't fucking with that because I know what happens.
Yeah.
But somehow
I'm gonna tell you what
they
happened.
end up in it.
You need to hear how the story went down.
Yeah. Okay.
This dude owed me money. I'm in the methadone clinic. This OG, he owed me money. His name's Jimmy. I don't give a fuck to put his name. He a good homie. He wouldn't give a fuck if I put his name out anyway. Jimmy, a good OG motherfucker, man. I was just kicking it with him. And he was doing a little bit of everything. He was drinking. He'd drink 140 milligrams of methadone. He would go smoke a little fentanyl. He's one of them old men that I kind of like admired because he would just do enough to where he wouldn't be too fucked up and he could operate, move in and out.
He can handle the shit.
Yeah.
Right.
So one day he tells me he's always got money. He's like, hey, he seen me counting some money. He's like, hey, and then he wanted to buy some shit to wake him up. But the dude wasn't giving him no free, speed.
Yeah.
He's like, go over there and get some speed for me. I'm already tired of you, man. If I go get the speed, it's going to be for me.
Right.
You ain't going to take none of my shit home with you. You're trying to grab some and go home. But I'm living on the street. I need to grab it and mind my own business, right? You know what they ain't going to do none of that. Right now, this comes a time in the life when you're kicking it with somebody and everything gets scandalous. Like we ain't friends no more. You know what I mean?
Right. So then what?
So he goes, hey, let me get $10. I get my check. I'll give you the $10 back. I swear, man, I got $31, man. I'm gonna give you $10 of my money. You leave me 21. Is that how it goes?
Right.
Yeah, I want my money. He goes, I promise, right tomorrow when I see you, right, I go, I don't even want to look, man. I don't want to look at you. You put your head down. I want you
when I see you, you should be walking to me with the money out.
All I should see is your hand in the money.
Right.
That's it. I don't want to know
when
nothing.
I'm using drugs, I don't let nobody, nothing here. Here's the $10. Make sure you pay me back.
Right.
The next day, he puts his head down.
Oh.
I'm like, what? But he's an old man.
Right.
He's like my elder. He's my elder. He's an OG.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just walk by. I'm like, scandalous motherfucker. Excuse me.
Well, that's one.
3
That's one
days.
to the universe.
3
3
days.
days.
3 days, you gonna get your money, you gonna get your check.
Okay.
I knew you wouldn't have shit, right? Anyway, everybody's smoking fentanyl at the methadone clinic, right? Everybody's smoking fentanyl. They getting their methadone, they hitting the corner smoking, plus with the speed pipe going, right?
Yeah.
So I was like fed up because, like he said, the heroin was so cut, it was so full of shit. I was getting tired. I couldn't even fuck with it. I just stopped fucking with it because it wasn't doing me nothing. I was wasting money. So I was just drinking methadone, trying to take some Xanax, and mad all day. I was like,
Right, not getting it.
yeah, mad all day, man. I'm
Right.
like, what the fuck? So I'm like, you know
God
what?
damn.
I got to the point to where that urgency, that you know where you're
The urgency, sense of
yeah,
urgency.
it's like sense of urgency. Like I'm tired. I want to get high.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
I need something.
I need something that's
Yeah.
something needs
Gonna
to kick.
check me out.
So I look over. This is like he ain't still gave me the $10. So I look over this way, right, and he's got that tinfoil. And dude explained it to me. The way fentanyl works is when you drop it and you burn it.
Yeah.
It looks like copper, like a rainbow, and it runs. And you get a few hits off it. So that first hit usually you feel it, and then you nod, because if it's good, you're gonna nod out. So he's got the tinfoil in his hand, and he's holding it, nodded out, and I'm looking at some homie Indio from Santa Anita goes, hey homie Lepke, there's a lot of dope on that tinfoil. So I'm like,
Snatch that tinfoil.
I jump over the fence. I got it. I'm like, beep. He doesn't even move. He's not. I go, look, I got the tinfoil. Homeboy's like, because he's seen whatever he had. I think he burned a whole 20 on there.
Yeah.
So Indio, he only took a little hit. I go, look, Indio's
the jungle.
like, nah, dog, you ain't never hit it. I don't want to be responsible. I'm just like, look, man, I already know what's going on, bro. Like, I ain't no fucking dumbass.
I ain't new to this.
Like, look, I smoked heroin. I know you.
Right,
OG Big Lep.
Let's go over here around the corner where the wind ain't fucking blowing. And you make sure I get like some of this shit in my lungs.
Yeah.
Right.
Come on.
I ain't fucking around, man.
Right.
And
So
I'll
this
give
is
you
the first time you're gonna
first
do
time
it.
I hit it, right?
Fuck.
Okay. So I fucking hit it, right?
Yeah.
And I let it out quick. I'm like, because I'm nervous.
Right. You don't want to hold that shit in.
I could taste medicine. I'm like, it tasted like the old school carga. I was like, that wasn't bad, right? Real bitter, like tastes like shit. And I'm like, man, that was good, right?
How quick?
I didn't feel nothing. Look.
Oh, really?
So he goes, okay, I told him. He goes, you said 2. I go, all right, the next one I pulled a little bit harder. And I blew it out my nose. I held it. And I go, all right, one more. He goes, nah, 2 is enough. I go, man, light it, homie. And then I just got a little bit and just fucked with it, like clowned. And I gave him the whole tinfoil. I go, look, man, there's about 3-4 hits on there. I'm out of here. When I got to the first block, I'm not lying. That quick. When I walked like a half a block, I went, and I was like, God damn, man. I went to Walmart. It had me so good. I was stealing. I was getting away with it was like, so I called my boy. I'm like, hey, man, maybe I'm good. Hey, what you got? And he goes, all I got is fentanyl. I go, let me holler at you. So my boy came. I found the connection where I found a dude that had like an abundance of this shit. And convinced him to start me off on a little bit, and he gave me, put a gang of that shit.
But
in
let me back it, reel it in.
It was
a minute
real good. It was real good.
Because
it was like a wonder drug.
I hear that the fentanyl is more of a head high, not a body high like heroin. It's a head high, and it goes quick.
No.
That's wrong.
No, this is what's going on. So you got to figure when the last time I smoked it, it was still laying motherfuckers down. And the way that, they're going to be like, oh, now we got a connoisseur going to tell us how all the drugs come in. No, that's not what I'm saying. But with the knowledge that I think I do have, I didn't even know that shit was coming from China. That shit ain't coming right from Mexico.
No,
somebody said that shit is coming from China, and that's the way they gonna kill us off.
Right.
All I know is
you're supposed to know about this.
Listen,
wait a minute, we're not there yet.
Yeah, we're not. Right. We're still just getting to the first lick. Right. But I am saying you've got one of the best what the fuck faces I've ever seen in my life. You're like, that's people in China.
Right.
This shit's coming from China.
I'm just trying to imagine Big Lep in Walmart zoning out, like
and nobody fucking catching him stealing.
Yeah, he's big. Like he ain't. It's not like he's hiding in the car. He's like walking out with a baby carriage.
They're like that guy in aisle 7. Let him leave with whatever he wants. Do not.
We don't need that kind of trouble.
Lep. So you're telling me that shit had you for how long?
It was, hey, let me tell you like this.
Hey.
Because there was a lady, they said, just bring her shampoo and razors, and she'll give you some fentanyl. So I went and got
You went and got her 20 shampoos.
Changed his name to Head and
50
Shoulders.
razors. Yeah.
Yeah, but wait.
Are you the one that takes the shampoo?
Yeah.
Damn me, what do you got? I go, look. She goes, oh my God.
Wait a second. But Big Lex, I mean, is there a little bit of a danger of this reportage from Big Lep to you? Is there a little bit vicarious that might be happening on your end a little bit? Like, do you have to kind of be like, well, I'm good, but I am a little interested?
No. I'm totally interested, but it's not getting me like my gut, like, I want to. No, but I'm curious to know. I'm hoping that it's not getting him.
No, I'm
riled
good.
up.
I'm good. No, there's no way I'm going to tell you why. So right now, what I'm thinking, what they did was at that time that I was doing it, it was real strong. Because now I'm watching, because, I'm in the field. I work in the field.
Yeah.
And I'm watching these kids that are going out. They're ODing, but they're not dying. You know what I mean? Now, when I was fucking with it, they were ODing, and they were dying.
They weren't waking up.
They weren't waking up. So what's happening with it now is that they're putting cuts on it to where people can maintain, because more people are doing it because the heroin, like, when do you hear about motherfuckers shooting heroin or strung out on heroin? No, I haven't heard anything. People are coming in the program, they're like, oh, we did some heroin down there on the row. I'm like, really, how was it? They go, well, after we did the heroin, we had to go get some fentanyl.
Right.
And I'm like, well, then you didn't do no good heroin. Because if you would have done some righteous heroin, you wouldn't have to go get no fentanyl.
What can you tell us is the difference between what you experienced on the righteous heroin versus this wonder drug
It's
fentanyl?
all this, you know what? Because what I think is like the heroin that I used to do back in the day, we would do it. I'd become very animative. I would become very heroin. Like
There's you going too.
Listen. There's people who do. Yeah. There's people who do speed, right? They do speed and they become real active and they eat and they do fucking, they put shit up and
Take
they do
apart a
coloring
car.
book and they're doing a
It
bunch
does
of
the opposite.
They're having fun. I do speed. I got to lock down. I got to go under the bed high and listen and turn shit off.
Right.
The air conditioning ain't even coming on. I'm on all fours in the motel
But
room.
the cardigan make you go.
The cardigan
makes me go too.
Let me tell you something.
I'll make my bed. I go to the store. I'll paint laundry. I won't stop. And the wearing, I just keep on going.
Cleaning the baseboards.
Right.
Right.
You get your life in order in the first couple days.
Before you start installing holes in the wall, cameras and shit.
You got worldly ideas. You know, you're spinning game. How you're going to change this and the video's going to run this way. And especially when you got that shit in the county jail. Like when you got a whole bunch of homies that have heroin, nobody's fighting, everybody's spreading.
Yeah. Everybody's hugging each other.
Hey, oh man.
When we get out,
You're with your enemy, like hugged up with him.
Yeah.
Hey, that's fucked up. Your homeboys killed my homeboy. Fucked them up bad over there, right?
Yeah.
But we're not gonna do that when we get out. No, but anyway.
Yeah.
It was alarming at an alarming rate on me, man, because it made me feel good. I was getting shit done, but I started noticing too that my respiratory system, when I would do it, because I was getting close to, like, I would do it alone. Like, I'd get on some steps. Like, I'd have to. I wouldn't want to involve anybody. I didn't want nobody to know that I had it, because a lot of people, they want it, and they're, a lot of homeless people, and they're strung out on it. So I would get it. I got to the point where you do build a tolerance. You're gonna build a tolerance. So I built my tolerance, and I would get it. I'd know how much to hit. I would never overdo it. Mm-hmm. And I'd always, like, I'm not even going to lie, not to get religious or nothing, but I will get religious right now. I would say a prayer. I would do a righteous prayer, man, before I'd hit it. Because I'd be up for a few days. And I'd be like, I'm going to go, and I had a frustration that my life wasn't together. I wouldn't give a fuck whether I was going to live or die.
Right,
anyway.
Of course, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, I want to do a hit that's going to put me down. And when I get on shit like that, like, so the listener, I'm that type of drug addict that it got to the point to me where fuck what the doctor said, fuck what this guy said, fuck what the homies think. It got to the point where, man, I didn't want to live.
Right.
It's time to go. I ain't got shit in. You got to pop the piss in the window, throw it out. I just fucked up 6 years of sobriety.
Right.
The whole time everybody.
That's all right.
Yeah, the whole time everybody thought that.
Now we're getting honest.
Yeah. That whole time everybody thought that I might have been fucked up and I wasn't, so they don't believe me anyway.
Right.
Right. What's the point?
Now even when you get clean, nobody believes you.
Right. What's the point?
So you know what? That's where the
I'm going to get mine.
Yeah, that's where I told God, all right, I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Right? And I did it in the sober living. I put enough dope in that fucking syringe where two people looked at me in there and said, there's no way you're going to run all that. And I fucking ran it while they weren't looking. I didn't give a fuck if they were watching or not.
Yeah.
I ran it. I woke up on the floor alive. Said my prayer. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. I'm going to go see a whole bunch of homies right now sitting. Diablo, Güero.
Right.
We're going to go throw him a besito up there.
Yeah.
Fuck this fucking jale. You know, fuck this world. Fuck everything. This, you know, I'm a fucking ex-gang member, whatever, down with whatever. It's time to go. I'm a drug addict, Dolphin. Ain't got a pot to piss in the window, throw it out. And fucked everything that I touch turns to shit.
And yet, here you are.
Man.
Right?
How you manage to, because that's dark, bro.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that's
but
cool.
that's dark, dog. And
But-
even from the outside looking,
we get
the things you're saying, Lepke, they are true.
Yeah.
You fucked this, bro. But to be the one that actually did it and can't look in the mirror, to come from there and somehow not die, bro, and be here right now.
It got bad.
Yeah.
It got to the point, even with the fentanyl, I'd be over there in Fullerton behind the train station, behind the methadone clinic.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sean. We always got to give Sean
Hey,
a shout out.
Blue Eyes.
We give Sean a shout out.
Sean, shout out. Sean.
No,
Blue
you.
Eyes.
We're not talking about
no.
You went behind the train station doing fentanyl?
The one that Porky helped Porky helped a lot of us. Matter of fact, dude, Paul's nephew, not Paul, but Porky's nephew. I get him mixed up. Fredo?
Yeah, Fredo.
Yeah, the homie Porky, right? Shout out to Pork. You know, so anyway, what happened was the same people, the Sean that looked out out of, he's a homie, man. He's a good homie.
Yeah.
He's the one that helped Porky
He
get
helped he helps a lot of people. What ended up happening was he told Big Paul, Porky's nephew, right? You know, shout out to fucking Paul too, man. Anyway, he told him straight out, he goes, hey, fucking, does Lepke have a brother? And homie was like, no, Lepke ain't got no brother. This is, his mother said, but one of him.
Right.
Enough. That's enough.
One.
We can't handle that.
There's only one Lepke, you know?
Right.
He goes, well, there's a dude in front of that methadone clinic that looks just like Lepke, man. Or, but I know it's not him. He goes, why not? He goes, because he's too skinny.
Yeah.
And homie goes, that's him, bro. There's no way that homie that looks like that. And he goes, man, I want to help him. Will he go? He goes, fuck yeah, he wants, but nobody will take him because he's on so much methadone. It's a liability. Programs will not take you if you're on over. They want 30 milligrams of methadone is unheard of. Who's going to get fucking well on 30?
And I think they want you on 20.
Yeah, they don't want, they're like, so he hit me up. He's like, so Paul told me, hey, tell them to call. Sean said to call him. I call him like, what's up? He goes, how bad are you? I go, I'm bad. You know how bad I am. Come on. You drive by me every fucking day and don't stop. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
Like, next time, stop me. Give me some money. I'm doing bad.
How are you?
What the fuck? Bring me something to eat. I'm going to be honest with you.
Bring me some shampoo and some razor blades.
He would do that, but, it's like, they would be scared to stop, man. You see a motherfucker like that. My mother used to tell me, what rock are you going to, I have to worry what rock you're going to crawl up under this time. My mother would tell me that. I'd be like, fuck, that's cool for a mother to tell you that.
Yeah.
But she was telling me the truth.
Sure.
Like, what rock are you going to actually crawl up from under?
Yeah.
And you think we don't have that type of impact on individuals when we're using drugs. It's a trip. The way the fucking drug will take us, man. And it will put us somewhere where we don't even think we're affecting people around us. We're just affecting ourselves.
Yeah, I'm only hurting myself.
Yeah, yeah. Motherfuckers are like hurt, like, hey, bro, like, we don't want you like that. You're a good motherfucker when you don't have that in you. As Stefan used to tell me all the time. You're a good dude, man. You got fucking like, he wouldn't tell me all the time, all day, but every now and then he'll throw one, hey, homie, you're a good homie, man. You got a good corazon. Why, why do you put that in you? My mother and homies look at us like, why do you want to subject yourself to get locked up? Get locked up in the fucking
but
jail.
They ain't a dolphin.
Like an animal, It's like, I like animal shit. I like to be locked up in the cell.
Hey,
I enjoy that, right?
Esteban ain't a dolphin.
Right.
I mean, it's
these
true.
People, if you're not a dolphin,
true,
then you ain't even gonna ask a dolphin that, right? If you're a dolphin.
You can't you're trying to rationalize somebody that's on a completely different deal.
That's like somebody telling you when you were drinking, why would you drink?
People
why
did.
You do that, right?
Right. And I didn't I wouldn't even feel like, why do I have to answer that question? I know why I'm doing. I'm having a good time.
Right.
I'm doing what I want to do.
Right. And I ain't hurting nobody. I'm just doing me.
It does do that, and I do think that to a certain extent there is an aspect of addiction or alcoholism that allows you to put you in front of everything else.
Of course.
Right? So that you what you need to get, what you're doing, what you're hiding, all that stuff comes center stage. So you don't have to deal with everything else that's going on.
No. You're dealing with that.
That's it.
Right.
And that's part of it. But it's also just the feel good high. I mean, at the end of the day, right? At least for me, I like getting fucked up. I like to black out. Yeah. I like to get fucked up. Yeah. I like to fucking get Waverly and see double and shit like that. You know? So I would imagine if you guys are thinking like, or you're thinking like, I want to get fucked up or whatever, it's partially is you enjoy it.
Right. If you wouldn't keep doing it if it wasn't doing, I mean.
And if it wasn't throwing you to the doctors and the everything and the da-da-da-da-da-da, you might still be doing it. Like if you could make life work like the guys you look up to, right? Yeah, where it's he's not living a perfect life, but he's got his pedal on the accelerators and all that stuff, and it seems to be working for him.
Yeah.
You would still be doing it maybe if it was like that, but it ain't.
No, it ain't. And then like just to so on this this last time, like the doctor was like, he's like warned me, he's like, I guarantee you if you get high again, like the morning, like, oh, I've heard it means right. This time I'm fucking serious. Like if you go out there and fuck with any methamphetamine, because the methamphetamine's got you fucked up.
That's what's
with whatever else. The methamphetamine is fucking your heart up.
What was it doing to you physically?
No, what it was, I wasn't knowing. Oh, yeah, it was so by the combination of living in the street and maybe catching, because I was in the other hospital a lot. I would go there every night. Like it got to the point I really don't want. I could kind of share on it, but it's like the listener, you guys might really need to hear like some cold-blooded shit that's like really like out of bounds, and you really need to like hear this shit so you'll know that I'm the type of motherfucker that I go to all extremes all the way. I get down in there and I get dirty. It gets to the point to where I was like, fuck, I haven't shit in 8 days. And I was like, that ain't good. I remember Heina telling me that they did something about compacted. And so I started worrying. I gotta go to the hospital on this one, you know. So I went in there. I was still in the fucking with Bizarro and them. And I told Schmitty and them drive me to the hospital. Like, well, what now?
Yeah.
What now? They ain't gonna give you no drugs. What are you gonna go tell them? I go, well, like, what's fucked up now? Did you like, what's up? Did you miss, or do you gotta need to get a drain, something drained, or what's going on? I go, nah, you haven't went to the restroom.
Right.
And they're like, oh, that's bad. I go, yeah, run me over. I went in there. The doctor shook his head. He's like, you just don't give up, man. I'm like, nah, man. He goes, what is it? He goes, I'm gonna give you this shit. You didn't give me that purple shit like when you do operation.
The X-Lax shit?
Yeah, no, it's like, it looks like glow. They give it to you before an operation?
Yeah.
That shit works.
To clean you right out.
No, he's like, I'm gonna give you some other shit. I go, what is this one? Just give me that shit. He goes, no, you ain't running the show. Let me give you what I want to give you. You're gonna drink what I tell you, how you're gonna do it. You drink this 20 minutes with a fucking 12 ounce, 16 ounces of water. Push that in and be by a toilet. Give it about 20 to 30 minutes and get ready.
And get ready.
I go, you serious? Now I know how a fucking Heina, what she goes through when it's through a pregnancy.
Oh, boy.
Wait.
Hey, Dad.
What?
He gave birth to a baby that big.
It was that bad. No, they came out in fucking like...
tiny little pellets.
But like bullets, man.
Yeah.
No, there was like rocks. It was like rocks.
Little. But they feel like you're taking a big dump, right?
Oh, my God.
Bro, it feels like... You're like, my ass is ripping over. I'm like,
a wolf.
I'm looking at it. I'm like,
what the
that's going to be a log. And I'm looking
it's a pellet,
tiny
bro.
little pellet.
No, but mine came like in intervals. Like it was like, hey, it was so bad, bro. Like you feel in your stomach, you're like, thank God, because you know it's finally gonna come out of you, but you don't know what the fuck it is. And then finally, so the first.
Was it gonna have eyes or what?
Man, I'm gonna tell you like this.
Hair on it.
If I wouldn't have been flushing that toilet, I mean, I even think I did fuck the toilet because I had to go. Like I had to bring bleach and a fucking, people are thinking like, what's this animal over here talking about?
It's an animal. It's an animal. There's an animal in that stall.
What the fuck's going on?
It was like bullets.
He's a giant bunny rabbit spitting out bullets out of his ass.
45 slugs.
Drug addiction. Yeah. We're talking about like the seriousness of drug addiction. We don't live like that today, so don't worry. You're a little.
No, but the real. I mean, like the not so glamorous.
I didn't like that, man. That was a bad feeling. I don't like that feeling like that.
Like, but did you feel like you had 8 days worth of shit inside you?
No, I mean, because you're not eating 8 days worth of like normal food.
I see.
So if you're not eating 8 days of normal food, there's something there. Because every now and then you'll get real high on something and be like, oh, 2 carne asada burritos, all right. And they'll just disappear and be like, okay, well, I know those burritos, where'd they go? And then I'm trying to convince myself, well, when you push gas out, that's part of the meal. And it's not. Like, you know, you push gas out there, it's not part of the meal, right? Like,
Why are you
how
trying
you
to
gonna figure that?
I don't need to take a shit because I've been farting at regular intervals.
Yeah. You know, so I'm like, something's wrong. You know your body. We all know our body.
Yeah.
I know, like, me, like.
I think I had nothing related to that, but I think at one time I had pebble shits once,
man.
and it was like
It
that.
ain't just pebble shit.
No, it was perfectly round. Like, I don't know how
We're
it got-
talking about, like, millions of them coming out.
No, I had like
not just one.
I had no. Listen, I understand. I'm a little piker. I get that. I'm talking
It's
to
like
giants.
Raisinets. I had Raisinets.
I'm sure it was a walk in the park. I'm just saying. I had the experience where I had like pebbles, and it was whatever that's called, constipation or something. And dude, I do remember thinking like I was straining,
Right.
I was pushing, and it felt like it was moving like a centimeter.
Yeah.
And then I get tired.
Right,
And then, but I could
exhausted.
still feel it like kind of coming.
Right.
But it's like, how much more is there? And I even would dream about making a catcher's mitt to grab it out, but I couldn't. All of that, right? And then finally it came out, and just like you said, it was it was almost perfectly round. And it wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be. And I'm like, that caused all this trouble?
All this trouble.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Remember Elliot?
Yeah.
I'm at his pad and I go to use the bathroom and I've been out there for days on heroin. And I go in his mouth, I'm like, dude, I haven't shit, dude, and I feel like I got to shit right now. And he's like, yeah, he's in the bathroom. I'm in there, bro, screaming and hollering for like, and I'm not kidding, 45 minutes.
Right.
He keeps on coming to the door saying, everything okay in there? I'm leaving you a glass of water at the door. Dude, it felt like my ass was ripping open. I
Right.
was like scared, like, oh, and then time would pass and I feel it pass.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I'm probably bleeding from back there. So I ripped something. By the time I get up and look after, it's Raisinets, bro. There's like 10 Raisinets sitting at the bottom of the toilet. I'm like, there's no way.
So is it just because it's so dry?
It's because it's so closed up because you haven't used your ass.
Yeah.
No.
So when you're pushing one little thing through, the feeling is like
it's bad.
you're giving birth.
Yeah.
But it's only a little piece. But your asshole's been closed for fucking 4, 5, 6
Man.
days.
It might have just melted together.
Almost together if you didn't fucking.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah,
It's
'cause-
painful, dude. It's
Because
crazy.
like on a bodily function, that's something that's not normally operating like
On regular.
on a daily.
Yeah,
That's why they call it regular.
Right. That's exactly right.
You have to, you know. So it's like
It's like a rhythm.
It's
Your whole.
definitely gonna be alien. You're not gonna like if your body is not like. And I'm not saying that that's happened to me throughout my life a lot, but when it did get bad, it got to that point. It was like really bad. Like
So what's the doctor? The doctor tells you it's the fucking
yeah,
nut.
the doctor tells me the first time. Now you got to remember because all this has already happened from the last show. It's just how I stood in my lane. I was like, you know, because I already know. And then not to you know our good man Esteban. You know, it's like I understand today that you know everything is done for a reason and everything has to happen for a reason in order for us to move to the next. You know, to the next level, you know, or not a level, but to where we want to be, you know, as, you know, we're getting older, man. Like all of us in this room, including the homie down there too, that takes my grandson, we're all getting to a certain age to where like the world, like to me, like I look in the world, I'm like, man, okay, we want to make a difference, but at the same time, like, you know, we want to be somewhere where we want to be. We want to be like in that gazebo in the sky with our, you know, all our things are met. You know, the bank account is doing good. You know, we could put gas in the car and not have to trip. We could hire a babysitter when we want to go take the girl out to a movie. We don't got to worry about dumb shit, you know?
Right.
We want to be met with certain things, you know, and it gets to the point for me, well, getting back to the doctor, he was like letting me know basically like, look, you keep this up, you're going to die. And I've already got to the point to where I don't want to die. I want to live a little bit. I got a boy. I got a son.
Yeah.
I got a daughter I can't find. You know, I said, I want to, like, maybe I could, like, down the line, maybe get married.
Maybe.
Maybe I can get married. Maybe I can sit up with a woman and enjoy something for my last days, own some property, maybe.
Enjoy a sunset.
Yeah, maybe up here, be like, maybe get up, but, you know, pitch in and do something right and do like we see in the movies where people are there, they're real old, they're holding hands and they're on that front porch and they're watching the sunset
Yeah.
and they're happy, you know.
Yeah. Peaceful.
Very nice. You know what I mean? You know, go to the little movie theater in the town, and you know, so it's like I want to experience. I don't want to just die. You know, like dope fiend die. Like
You've been fighting this whole time. You don't want to go out fighting the whole time.
And also one of the only reasons, I'm gonna say it's the only reason, one of the main reasons why I'm back up here talking is that the homie put me up on game. We put each other up on game. We're like, fuck, homies are dying.
Yeah.
Homies that are our age. That, you know, like, we kind of like, I'm not like going to be like, oh, when I heard that Bird died, I was surprised. No. It was
Rest in peace, Pajaro.
Yeah, Pajaro, yeah, from Temple. It was like, that kind of like, that to me was like, dude was like, no matter what you put this dude through, he wasn't going to die, bro. It's like, he was like,
and throw him on a weight pile. It don't matter how sucked up he is. Throw him on a weight pile for 2 weeks, and he got some dubs.
He's going to pass everybody.
Right.
And he's the healthiest motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It's like, he's like, and then for this dude to like, and who knows? Like, we will never know. Like, it's not like we got the inside scope to where like, hey, how did homeboy die? We know like, yeah, the addiction led him to like, probably to the point to where something happened where he fell asleep and didn't wake up. Cause that's how a lot of the older homies are dying. They're falling asleep, man. They're not coming, you know, they're not waking up. They don't have the right person to monitor. Like, I'm going to be like, oh, we're going to, hey, when you're out there, hey, make sure you get a good fentanyl monitor while you're smoking that shit. Nah, don't fucking get high at all. I mean, like, you want to fucking, there's people listening like, oh, that'd be a good drug to try. I want to try it. You know, I never done Molly. I hear a lot of good stories about Molly. I've never done it.
Yeah.
But I've watched enough fucking drugs. What's that shit they watch on the National Geographic channel? I watched enough of that.
Drugs,
like, oh, yeah, that shit looks pretty cool.
Listen.
Everybody's dancing. Like,
no, listen.
And then they're like, they're going over here, you know, like
you know what?
Fuck, right?
I think it's aside from what you guys are talking about, I think it's a natural human tendency to want to at least experiment a little bit with different sensations like Molly or whatever. Right. But also, it's also reality that
Sean lit up when I said Molly.
Because he's a Molly freak.
Yeah. Molly, run it down, Sean.
He would wear like pink and big pants and dance.
Like, Sean, no, serious, Sean. What was that like?
Yeah,
did
Janko.
You snort it?
Fucking amazing.
Yeah, really? It's like.
Sometimes I did, yeah.
You did?
But not
Look at
often.
Lucky.
Not often.
Like Lucky's taking it like he was involved with something.
No, I don't. I mean,
no,
you ever tried Molly, Luck? Yeah,
we did ecstasy.
It's a pussy drug, right?
Ecstasy, Molly.
They told me don't fuck with that shit.
What is that?
MDMA.
That's an ecstasy.
All that shit.
Well, Sharon Tate and them, they found it in her blood up there on the hill when she died.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, we could start going that way. Man,
Lepke had some true crime ideas on the way.
We already
up,
like these people don't know the history of the Hard Luck Show was started based on us bringing knowledge of history in like L.A. and murders and
Richard Ramirez.
We are very enlightened.
OJ.
We have a lot of insight, and we, you know, I'm at an age already where a lot of you guys like research some shit. We've done like, you know, like we were talking about the George Jackson thing about the Black August.
Yeah, Soledad
the
brothers.
Soledad brothers, man. We got
also Lepke and I were talking a little bit about the Isla Vista killer.
The Isla Vista dude.
That kid that wasn't able. This kid,
this is
right?
Crazy.
Couldn't get laid. He wound up going crazy and turned into a mass shooter up in Santa Barbara. Shot up a sorority, shot up people.
This is the kid that goes, nobody would fucking, I couldn't lose my virginity.
Yes.
And now you're going to pay. And he did a recording in a car before.
Yes, and he wrote a 180-page manifesto. And I've got...
Oh, yeah, he goes, now today...
Day of retribution.
Yeah, you're going to pay.
Crazy.
The world's going to pay.
This story is so insane because I got a hold of a writer who did the entire life. So you see, right? And then he writes this massive manifesto, and you see this dude at 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, 11, 12. He's like scared of puberty. He doesn't want to hit puberty because girls are already rejecting him. And it's weird because he doesn't want the ugly fat chicks. They probably are okay with it. He wants the hot ones, but he can't figure out why some guys that are jerky, they're getting him. And then he goes into World of Warcraft. Next thing you know, he's on online guilds and doing shit.
What is World of Warcraft?
It's like a role-playing game online where it's Dungeons and Dragons online. It's a bunch of people, right, who can't get laid, going on. I mean, I'm sure there's some that can get laid at like a Dungeons and Dragons convention or something. I'm just saying that because Sean.
But why did Sean's name come up when we were discussing that?
Because I was reading about. No, because we always teach Sean. Because we always teach Sean about being like kind of like quiet and introverted and a little bit like I don't know, and then was like he's gonna snap and maybe go crazy at a McDonald's. But one of the things is when I've been studying these things. There's this book, man. It's not on topic, so I won't get too deep into it. But it's one of the best books on the theory of serial killers and their appearance.
What's the name of it?
It's called Serial Killers.
Okay.
Death and Wound Culture in America.
Wow.
And what this guy's whole thing is, and I'm taking it slow, and I'm doing all these note shits real slow. It's actually very compact. Cool. But as I unpack, that's where I got the massacre idea from the McDonald's, was he referred to that.
Crazy.
He was saying that part of the issue why we're seeing it now like this, starting with Jack the Ripper, he starts laying out that it has to do with public mass spaces that we've never had before.
That's crazy.
And that you have a lot of intimate strangers. So like everybody, for instance, you go into an elevator, right? It's a public space, yet everybody is also maintaining a stranger sort of division, but it's got an intimate aspect to it. And so what he's laying out is that the psyche of a human being, when you look at anything, you overlay your map on everything, right?
Of course.
Okay. So there's, in our worlds, in our realities, part of what makes us is this idea of a public and a private. In the old days, the distinction was much clearer. But today, because of commuting and because of all the stranger intimacy, some of these public spaces have also become somewhat like a home where violence would be maintained. And he's saying that what happened, no, I see what you're saying, right? The reason why it matters is because the violence and sexual violence enacted on the bodies affirms the private individual's presence in this typical, almost blank public space, and that this still exists. And he says that when you look at all of these things like the Hillside Strangler and all this stuff, right? What you're seeing is somebody's private desires being manifested in public. And when that happens, it becomes noticed, and the public space actually, in a very sick way, upholds the reality of private desires. And it gets mediated. And this is why sometimes he
lost me on that.
Listen.
He went deep. He went deep.
But
he's going to bring it back. Listen.
But like, so when you're saying like there's a notoriety aspect to it. So there is, but from this perspective, it's the desire of this twisted individual, not for fame, but to have his reality and his private desires shown as real in the public space. Why do we know it's real? Because the media, the space, the cops, the stories, all the lurid details are recorded. It's recorded in the public space, in the history. And so this weird anonymity of the private desires is gone, and it's part of I haven't even got through the entire thing, but it's very fascinating because first thing he says is like fast food culture is one of these places where you see meat, it's half meat and half machine meeting together. And so he's laying out this whole concept of human beings trying to locate or assimilate into the machine culture that exists and is continuing to encroach on human reality.
Damn.
Like being in a car, for instance, right, is in some ways slowly, like, what's the steps between driving a car and eventually being a fleshy human inside a machine armor that's moving shit around, right? It's a series of degrees. Or what is going into the metaverse or playing an online game, except slowly melting, the human reality slowly melting into machines. And so when you have these people so there's an inversion or some kind of fuck up, right? Like Jack the Ripper. Then what happens is it gets acted out in a public space. That's why it needs to be in a public space. This is why they can't. And what's interesting is he says, and it's fascinating, but he starts laying out, he starts laying out. He's like, if you notice, most serial killers are almost types, or like they're almost like generic humans, right? You look at Jeffrey Dahmer, you look at Huberty, you look at Old Blue, you look at whatever, right? They're regular people. I'm just teasing. Yeah. They're regular people that can blend back into the crowd after they've done whatever they've done.
Gracie and all them were like that.
It's part of that. And this kid was like that.
Man.
This kid was like, he could melt back in. And this kid was trying so hard through his life to be cool. It's weird. He wanted to be cool, and he desperately tried to be cool. He started skateboarding, did his hair blonde, all this shit. And because he was desperate about it, it was like the opposite.
Everything he's chasing after is eluding him.
Right. And so it gets to, I haven't got to the end, but also it's interesting too, because they talk about that almost to a person, like Manson and everyone, all these guys have a manifesto.
Yeah.
They write.
Manson didn't have one.
No, but he had like a philosophy and a bunch of writing.
Yeah.
And Jeffrey Dahmer did a bunch of writing. And the Unabomber.
Lepke does a bunch of writing.
Right.
I've got some good stuff.
Yeah, when I told Lepke on the way up, he's like, man, I wish I could have some of that. I'd like to write 180 pages.
I was like, a motherfucker wrote a manifesto like George Jackson put a good manifesto out. I'm like, 2 books, Soledad Brother and A Blood in My Eye. Like, these were books that actually like were presented in the penitentiary that made a movement. Like, people actually like, he was a leader. George Jackson was a leader, man.
No, he was.
He took these to Angela Davis. They were like, he believed in he's a fucking communist, you know what I mean? Like, but a communist in a way is where he was fighting for the people.
He was trying to empower people. By the way, I started reading Long Arm.
Right.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
What Long Arm? Like the
Did you finish
the Long Arm
Divided?
like Western?
No. I started reading Long Arm,
Well,
right?
what's Long Arm? The
Long
Western?
Arm, the Western.
Yeah. Long Arm ain't no joke.
No, he's a Louis L'Amour.
Yeah, they
started
ain't no
reading
joke.
Louis
I
L'Amour.
read all those when I was in the juvenile hall.
Listen. So
That's why I turned out like this, like a maniac.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, me too.
you told me.
I told
You
you,
read it's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, I told him that,
so check
dog.
this
I
out.
told him.
So I'm reading it, and I'm like, all right. And I got your voice in my head already.
but
Like,
what is that?
Hold on, let him talk. Let him talk.
Listen, so I get this book, right? I look at the pictures. Big long pistol in the front. Chick with some titties.
Of course.
Yeah, right. He's smoking a cheroot. So I like start reading, right? He's on vacation. Okay? He's on vacation. He's been a marshal, going on vacation. And you know, everybody loves him. And he's a cool dude because he's not taking any freebies just because he's a marshal, right? Paying his way, humble, right? Hard worker. And then he shows up in this town, right? Before he, listen.
10 more.
He shows up in this town, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. He shows up and then he starts, sitting down, and the woman who runs the hotel. Oh, they're old friends.
Yeah. Of course, bro.
Amanda. And he looks at her, she had nice cleavage, she's had real good descriptions.
Yeah.
And then, right?
See the nipple going through her fucking sweater. And,
Listen, bro. So I'm like reading, well, that's the kind of Western I've ever read before.
Right.
What's going on here? Right. So her friend Mandy also staying with her. Old school chumps. And he doesn't like her too much because she's a little thin.
By this time,
Yeah.
Sheila's knocking on my chest by that point, so I'm fully hard.
It's all of a sudden, I'm like Mayor Giuliani. I'm like walking around like, you gotta knock this down. You start acting like, right?
No joke.
But dude,
Monumental ego.
Yeah, so they go, so he goes in there. A man that gets naked, they're doing 69.
Yeah.
He remembers. And I'm like, what kind of Western? Her friend shows up now. It's a 2-time on.
Right.
Nipples are hanging out.
Yeah.
And she likes it in the back door. He remembers from last time. Give her everything.
That's it, bro.
She comes real fast. All this stuff.
She comes around. Are you getting aroused?
Yes.
Fuck, dude.
Dude, I got like to the point where it was like it was a late night and everything. And my girl came in and I was like, hey, where are you going? Not so fast.
You're like, damn, you're frisky
You're
tonight.
actually reading the novel, right?
I'm reading it.
That's crazy.
I've
done that.
Because
Los
Diablo started talking about it on the show.
Yeah, and the way you
we've
guys
been
described
there.
it, I'm like, I gotta see this.
check
Real.
Hey, it delivered.
It delivered.
It's delivering.
There's another one that we used to fuck with. It was in Sidney Shelton's and the Joan Collins.
Yeah, I'm not
Like
trying to get you.
Chances.
Listen,
Yeah,
I like
a
this
little bit
cowboy.
more.
Let
Yeah,
me
that's
enjoy
more.
the cowboy
Really
who's
cowboy.
doing
Really cowboy,
69 in the Old
Yeah,
West.
But I tell you, man, you be doing that one, and the next thing you know,
Yeah.
the sheet's getting closed, right?
Yeah.
Or you're like, I gotta go to the book. I gotta take a shower.
Hey, I was wondering why.
I gotta shower, and it's fucking 11 o'clock at night. I gotta shower.
Homies be walking around the joint talking about, hey, you got one of them shit kickers? I'm like, what do you mean shit kicker? Like Louis L'Amour or a long arm or what?
On a Friday night,
Oh, yeah. That was good.
Los,
everybody have their sheets up.
Yeah.
Los said
Yeah.
that there was a lot of guys in the room walking around like old abuelitas with like a shawl on.
He said other guys had the blankets.
Yeah.
Everybody have a whole lady blanket over the lap.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
figured I had a wire porn on the day room TV.
Right.
They'd be up there at 1 o'clock in the morning.
No. What they all
That
hey.
blanket.
Or else they just find a cable channel that had the Girls Gone Wild bullshit.
Yeah, watch
Right,
it
it'd
all.
be
Oh,
stuck.
yeah. Yeah. Max.
And a
The
good
real
one.
Mayako.
Max.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a few fucking chunks of the speed would come in. The Chino, we'd be in the guiding center. I'm talking about where you don't get nothing. In a day room stuck with no fucking hot water. And a dude would come in with like a fucking gram of speed in his belly button. You know, You know what I'm saying? Like, let me see that.
That's some
Oh,
power.
I'm hungry. You got a few soups? Yeah, let me have that. I'm like, give it fucking like almost a gram rock of speed that once you bust it up, it just goes everywhere. It's like 2 grams. You give him like 4 soups, some toothpaste. some deodorant.
yeah. A little
He just
copy
wants some
cup.
food.
Yeah, I fucking snort some of that shit and I tell the homie, hey, let's put that thing. Got all the homies.
Give me
in
all the
front of
Prono.
me.
He used to go, you got any
Yeah.
Prono magazines? He used to go, Pronos. Remember?
It was bad.
Yeah. Well, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Hey, you know what? You know, you're not supposed to be like, you can't really be engaging with the you know, you can't really fuck with the brothers,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
you know, you
yeah,
can't
yeah.
eat with them, you can't do them.
Yeah, yeah.
Can't do
But
nothing.
we had a cold ass
We had a cold
friend,
spot.
right? That
too. Rest
Homicide
in
Black,
peace, rest
bro.
in
Homicide
peace.
Black.
Black
He's
Dog.
from 111. He
111. Homicide, man, everything.
deep inside, I think he
Right.
wanted to be Mexican.
He was.
Okay.
He
Okay.
was.
And he would come
was a
fuck with
homie.
me
He
and
was
Lep,
a homie,
and he'd
period.
be like, all these motherfuckers are lame. So
We
he was
didn't
talking
give a
about all
fuck.
the brothers.
Yeah, we didn't give a fuck.
Like,
He was a homie.
So he'd get a
was a-
package.
right,
He'd
right.
get a package, and you ready? Bust us out the
Yeah, he
cigarettes.
would, yeah.
He go and he put it right over there, like
Yeah, he'd put it
he
under
put
my
it
pillow.
somewhere where you wouldn't see him give it to you.
Go over there and pick that
You know
up.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go over there.
Yeah, go over there.
There's
It's
a
something for you.
because a Taylor is a real cigarette.
Right,
you don't
right.
have those in the joint. You know,
No.
you got unless somebody gets a package, you're rolling them.
Yeah.
Go, hey, I just put a Taylor over there for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Go look over there, and there'd be a
A
couple
pack,
Taylors.
not just one.
Yeah, man, he'd look out, dog.
He would look out
and
for us. Black Dog was
he
a-
had the motherfucking magazines, though. He had the
Yeah,
Pronos,
but listen,
dude.
Hey, he had shit because look, I go, man, I heard Monster got that book out, Monster Cody, and we can't get it. Nobody, I want to read it when I get out. He goes, we got that.
He also had the pornos.
Yeah, he got everything.
He had everything,
Yeah.
dude.
We got. He was in my queue.
And you're not supposed to be exchanging stuff.
No,
with
you
them.
can't do that. You
Yeah.
get in trouble.
Slide, you know.
So we got that.
He's an older.
He
older.
said,
A little
"Snake."
leakage.
He'd be like Snake and Drac got that in the other door. Snake and Drac from
Right.
Yeah, right. Snake they got because they in the book.
Hey,
And they-
like, I remember.
they say
I
he's
remember,
lying.
I remember. Some shit almost kicked off.
Well,
Right, and this was when I'd made it down to like a 2-yard for a second at Avenal, right?
right.
We're over there, and he's like, some shit almost cracked off, and the brother did.
It did crack off. You cracked it off.
You know, well, that's later
You
on.
cracked it off,
But
yeah.
we're sitting back, and he tells me like this. He goes, hey, look. I'm like, what's up? He goes, if the dorm should take off,
Right.
me and you gonna get down right here and make it look like we're getting
Yeah,
He goes,
go around
we'll
the
just
block.
make it look
Yeah.
like we're getting down when we
Yeah,
get off.
yeah.
But I ain't gonna do nothing. You
You
ain't
just hug me.
yeah. He's just like,
hug
we'll just
me, homie.
act like we're
Dancing.
Yeah, dog. I start laughing.
This dude was down.
He was down.
Yeah.
he was down.
He didn't agree with a lot of.
But you remember him? He'd be checking his home. He'd be
Yeah, but no,
checking
but we go to the
he'd be
yard.
checking the brothers though.
Yeah, we go to the yard. Nobody could tell him nothing.
No,
First of
dude,
all,
nobody could say
he
shit
was
to
the
him.
strongest motherfucker on the yard. Him and another brother that's doing good right now. Shout out to Big Nut from Long Beach. He's a drug counselor. Yeah,
that right?
Awesome.
Yeah, Nut's a drug counselor.
Meech?
Meech, and no, not Little Meech.
Right,
No, Little
right.
Meech. I don't know what happened to Meech. There was a lot of good dudes right there. They from L.A. You know, we were all from L.A. We didn't, we wasn't, it was like, we weren't about that shit, man. We're trying to get visits and have packages and live, It wasn't all about that drama, man. You know, whatever they doing now, whatever they did, you know, it's like people up here mad.
Take us back, Lepto.
Anyway,
let's get back on subject.
Yeah, sure.
With like,
so with the doctor, let me tell you, the second time. So now we're going the second time. This is like, I'm looking, so he goes, hey, don't do this because you might die.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I went and I didn't really go to the extreme the second time because I didn't need to, because whatever I did the second time was enough to fuck me up to where it didn't matter. Because to be honest with you, all I did the second time was I did a few lines. I didn't even smoke it. I just did some lines and I drank some fucking alcohol. Yeah. And I went in the program and I told on myself. And they're like, we got to stabilize you, man. We can't have you in a sober living. One of our houses loaded. You know, you already got loaded. Matter of fact, I go, well, I'm not loaded. I did that like 24 hours ago. I don't feel loaded anymore. I just feel like I could be honest with you and tell you. They go, no, but over here we got to do it like this. So they put me, probably saved my life, put me somewhere, right? Then when I came back, when they put me in that stabilization, after 3 days, I couldn't breathe. I got up in the night, I fucking on the floor, gasping from where I went straight to the emergency room again in front of the same fucking doctor. He goes, man, I told you, if you get high again, you're gonna die, bro.
You believed him this time?
Like, you know, not whether I believe him, it's just like I'm in a different place right now. Like I'm already in a spot to where like I gotta look at it like, you know what, like I don't have like, I don't know, I'm not gonna be saying, well, if you like, well, what, because they work with cravings, so it's like, what type of craving I have? Okay, so I'm gonna tell you something like what happened to me 2 months ago. I don't like water pills. You know, you ever try a water pill?
The hell's a water pill?
They give you a water pill when, like, you know, when your legs got too much water, when your body creates water anywhere, when you guys are going to get it when you get my age, trust me. No, I say that. When you get older, your body holds on to water, right? It happens to old people. And what happened with the congested heart failure, CP, whatever they call it, is that what I had fluid around my heart. And the fluid around my heart was from not only, you know, it's coming from maybe drugs, maybe from old age. You know, who can say? The doctor told me it's coming from all the fucking drugs I put in my body. So I was neglecting. So I was starting to like, man, I'm like fucking 2-3 months, not even 2, like 45 days, you know, sober. Yeah. But I'm not taking the water pill the way I'm supposed to. I'm like taking it one day and it's fucking like, it's a pain in the ass to take these pills.
Why?
Because you got to be by a toilet for like 3 hours.
A lot. You got to pee a lot.
Yeah, you're going to sit one time and just sit there. You don't want to get up. You're like, okay, for like you wait about a good minute and a half, like 2 minutes, and it's going to come out again. They just, all you do is pee. It's going to win. It's like 3 hours. So what I was doing was I was missing days and I couldn't catch my breath. So I had to go to Hope down there in Newport.
Yeah.
I couldn't breathe.
That was a good hospital.
I went in there.
That was a rich people hospital.
They did the ultrasounds and they did, you know how they put the gel?
Yeah.
And they seen that there was
like a pregnancy
fluid around my heart.
Man.
Pulls me in, he goes, let me ask you a question. Out of all them fucking 12 fucking medications are you taking that you're taking for your heart, for your blood pressure, for whatever? Matter of fact, my blood pressure is down. I don't even need the blood pressure medicine no more. So he goes, out of all those 12 medications, are you taking the water pill? I go, no, I'm not really taking too many of those. He goes, that's why you're here. That's why you can't breathe. He goes, you're not going to leave here. I'm going to double you. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put an IV in you. I want to get, you'll feel better. Tomorrow you'll be able to breathe. I'm going to up your intake on the water pill, 40 milligrams. So I have to figure out, I found ways that I could take it. Like if I stay home at night, I could just pop it and be by the bathroom and it's not a problem. You got to know when to do it.
Yeah.
If I'm working, I work Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I could take it while I'm working because I'm all over that place. You know, I'm cleaning.
Yeah.
I got access to a bathroom every fucking time. You just have to know how to take it. I don't go, like, I won't let, like, if I slip up, like, if I know, like I didn't take it today, but I'll take it tonight.
Right.
I'll make sure.
On a long ass 405 commute, you ain't gonna take it. Otherwise, we're gonna be swimming out of the truck.
No. And I take it when I work. Like I take them.
Yeah.
And he up to 40, so I notice the pill has a lot to do with. And I take a steroid. It's like an inhaler.
Did it start? Did you start breathing better the next day?
Yeah,
like
the next day, that night after he flushed. Yeah, it was like, it was cool. Because what happens?
Scary, dude.
The
That's
water,
crazy.
yeah.
Do the doctors? I mean, do you think that the doctors also kind of like you because they get to do a lot of different shit with you?
Well, no, it's like no, because this other doctor, like I don't know them, but it's like the one where I go, like when it gets serious, like when I relapse, that was in Corona because twice they had sent me to the detoxification. I did the detox. I caught COVID. A lot of people don't know. Last August,
Yeah.
like we're coming. I've been fucking around the whole year with the same people, man. The same program which they hired me on. I actually got, since you guys know me, I was telling them I opened a bank account. I had to get a bank account because I got direct
Deposit.
But yeah, and I've never had none of that. So I'm in a new, God gives us everything. I'm not going to get religious, but I will. Like everything I fucking pray for, man, I hit my knee, man. You know what I'm saying? People say, we ain't on that Jesus shit. But every time I look at my phone, I got a picture of Jesus on my phone.
Yeah.
Whether he has anything to do with it, like Muggs and them told me, that dude's dead. I mean, like, okay, I get it. So we're not, you're not like,
Yeah, but it's your
what I
own,
do.
it's
Yeah,
your
right, yeah,
thing,
like I was
man. Well,
telling
you don't
on
have
the
to
way up
explain
here,
it to
man. I
anybody.
know, I don't try to explain
Exactly.
it to everybody because I'm also a spiritual man. And that's something like I got somebody in my life now that she's like, if you ain't this way, then there ain't no other way.
Right.
And I have to respect that because I was like that when I'm still like that. I do believe that.
Yeah.
It was brought up in my home. So I'm going to honor what my parents taught me. And maybe the reason why that whoever I'm praying to, like I'm going to be honest with you, that if I am saying a prayer to Jesus, if I use his name, and I say, dear Jesus, relieve me of this obsession just for today, and I don't get high today, then where does that strength and that power go to? It doesn't fucking go to me.
Right.
It's going
Yeah,
straight.
you're giving it up.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
giving it to
Whoever you want.
there you go. Right.
Yeah.
Today I choose to give it to the Lord and my Lord and Savior because I feel I don't have to go to a Christian place or, these, I don't want to mention names. I don't have to go somewhere and be like, oh, you know what? Okay, I could put a picture of the man right there on my wall. And I look at him and I go, man, he did something, I believe that man did do something.
Right.
He did. Or is that a bogus story? Like, you got a little bit of knowledge on that.
No, I'll tell you this.
Did he walk
Listen,
for us or?
listen, I can tell you this much.
Yeah, I
right?
wanted to ask you
Listen,
that.
I'm American Indian.
Right.
I got different perspectives on the whole thing.
Sure.
Okay, but I can say this.
Right.
There was Jesus before there was churches.
Really?
Yeah.
You see that burst of air that just came through?
Yeah. So, like, Jesus didn't come from a church. When he was
Right.
walking around doing his thing, he was just one of the people with the people.
Right.
With the real people.
With the real people,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
The have-nots.
Right.
So,
Do you believe he was a healer?
you know what, man? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm
Right.
an American Indian,
There you-
and I'm not Christian no ways.
Right.
Okay? That's just me.
Right.
And that's
But
just...
there's American Indians that know how to heal, right?
Yeah, there are.
In a sense?
Yes, but see, here's the thing, man. American Indian healing in the old days, right?
I'm hearing that music. That means we're gonna have a
Yeah,
part two.
yeah. But the healing, what the doctors did and what priests did.
Right.
If you go back far enough, a lot of it was the same work.
Right.
And then now today you have specialized doctors and then you have spiritual healers, and it's a little bit different. But whatever you're giving it up to that's got that color in your face that you got right now, right? The sparkle in the eye,
Cool, thank
right? The energy, the good energy,
I
man,
appreciate
right?
that,
Big
man.
Lux. I mean, today you could just feel it.
Right.
Whatever that is, that works for you, and you are walking your path, man, right? And you're giving it up to who you need to get. So it doesn't matter what I think.
That's real talk. Yeah.
That's
Thank you,
true.
man. That's right. Man.
All right. Well, listen, Lep. Listen, man. I'm grateful for your live. You're doing good today.
Yeah.
Fucking beyond proud of you. I'm happy that you're seeing your son, who I know.
No, I haven't seen my
Oh,
son.
you haven't?
It's like, man.
That's part 2.
It's rough. Yeah, we got
That'll be coming.
We got a good part 2 for you too.
Okay.
Yeah. We're gonna keep the updates going.
I'm just glad you're here because I know you're putting the pieces back together.
Yeah.
To get there.
Yeah. And there's an old saying around here. They're like, we give everything up, but we can get it all back little by little.
That's
And
true.
today I am
Yeah,
getting
a lot
it
of
back.
people love you, Lep. So
I hear you, man. Shout out to the whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
I want to give a big. Let the fans know where they can follow you.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram under OG Lepke. It's OGLEPKE. And also I represent Soul Assassin. I'm an OG Soul Assassin at that. Check out all the new shit, man. Go to the page Soul Assassin. Check out the new cookie shit. Check out the vibes. There's a whole bunch of shit going on. Just check it all out, man. We here, man. We been here. We ain't went nowhere.
That's
we
right.
ain't went nowhere. OG Lep Dog or Big Lucky and all of us, man.
You heard it
Stevan
from
Oreo.
Lep.
Stevan Oreo, man.
Big shout out to the Soul Assassins.
Yeah,
Big shout out to
Shumahan.
Stevan
Yeah.
Muggs.
Bowman and Company. How you say?
Ovanda Bone, LLP.
Big shout out to Burner, the Vibes, and Cookies fam. To my kids. Chuman, what you got?
Ovanda Bone, LLP. I also want to give it up to the Oneida Indians of Wisconsin.
Yes.
Went out there for the powwow 2023. My little girl danced in the circle with the Indians.
Yeah! Yeah.
Real and shit. She said, I want to see the Indios.
That's right.
And that's all I got.
How about Sean?
Sean.
I got www.hardluckshow.com. Also, hit us up over at Amplified, The Hard Luck Show. Just go on Amplified and search for The Hard Luck Show. You'll find us. A bunch of stuff up there, some freebies that you can grab and download.
That's right.
And Big Mike, get in there, partner. Give us a shout out.
Oh, Mike.
Big Mike Angelo.
Check it out. We got Mike Angelo Photography. Also, check this out. I'm starting a little business for you guys. Check it out. No, seriously. Doing some ice cream. If you need ice cream services, hit me up. I definitely can provide for you 52 flavors. Come hit me up and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow.
Listen.
DJ Ice Cream.
DJ Ice Cream. DJ Ice Cream. That's it.
DJ Ice Cream.
Hey, guys, thanks for tuning in.
Yep.
Thank you, Lepke, my
Thank
brother
you.
from another mother.
Thank you.
Well, we are out of here from the Hard Luck Show.
The West.
Yeah.
West Side.
That's right.